So let's look at the exercise response in people who have asthma. So oftentimes the bronchoconstriction often occurs after exercise has ended. So those few minutes in the post-exercise period, and it resolves within 1 hour. However, they may have a later or second reaction anywhere from 3 to 4 hours or up to 8 to 9 hours later. Interestingly, a second bout of exercise gives a lesser response to that. So an exercise session can cause a person to have an asthma attack, but a second bout of exercise may actually lessen that response. Cold does intensify asthma. So the super cold weather we had, the super cold air, the super dry air is going to increase someone's risk of asthma attack during exercise. There is such a thing as just exercise-induced asthma. So it's, otherwise people are normal, but they have an asthmatic response during exercise. The respiratory tract becomes very dry. Again, big influx of calcium, big changes on the surface of the mast cell. And a lot of athletes, do have exercise-induced asthma, and if they have it controlled, it does not impair their performance. So they would need to be diagnosed with this, and they would have a prescription for an inhaler that, they would be allowed to use during competition. So definitely looking at, high-intensity running, so running at 85 to 90% of their max heart rate. So, and then looking at their FEV1 before and after that exercise challenge, and, could they have just exercise-induced asthma? So it is fairly common. What can reduce the chance of an attack? Longer warm-ups. So increasing warm-up duration is very important for people who have asthma or exercise-induced asthma. Exercise sessions that are a little bit shorter duration, especially using masks or scarves in cold weather when it's super cold. And make sure they've got their inhalers with them, that they've got the beta agonist inhaler, and interestingly, and that they're taking their other medications as they're supposed to be doing. The beta-2 agonists are not found really to be an ergogenic aid. So, so it really just sort of makes them normal. And then the ingested beta-2 agonist does improve strength, anaerobic power, endurance. So the long-acting does. So that's why they have to be very careful about use as an ergogenic aid. Exercise testing in asthma, exercise-induced asthma. So once again, they will start to look at those FEV1 values, a spirometry after exercise. What is the percent of restriction that they have in their FEV1, after exercise? And, does it have something to do with the less warming of the air, inspiratory air? Your nose will warm and humidify your air, and that's why activities such as running are definitely going to play a role in, causing asthma attacks. We had a student several years ago that said being in the pool, not so much the pool we have in the West Center, but other pools that are very chemically cleaned with chlorine, that can also trigger an attack for certain people. So not just the dry and the cold, but also the chemical sensitivity.